It's probably in the jungle, maybe? I think that's where it is. I guess.
We are, all of us, connected to each other and to all living and non-living things. In the luminosity of understanding, we teach our children to blossom in this light. We teach them to unfold with compassion and tolerance. We teach them of things good and things bad in the ways of the world. We teach them to believe in themselves, to believe in hope. And then we must trust them with everything.
Many Thai families with a tradition of working them are now forced to sell to those willing to defy the law.
And they were playmates. They went to the river to swim together, and now that special bond disappeared. And I don't know where.
days, the elephants were highly respected as a symbol of the Lord Buddha, part of Lord Buddha's life. And in the early time of Thailand, elephants were used as warriors. They fought in the wars, and they were highly regarded as the symbols of the country. But years later, they were used as transporters. But only 20-30 years back, they were less important. Even this day, they are regarded as tools to destroy the forest. So it is very, very sad for me, and it's their stories are very traumatic. They are abused, they are tormented, tortured, and I couldn't believe my eyes when I see like Kami here with chain wounds cut all over the bodies, knife wounds on the heads, and it is heart-rendering that how could one small human being could easily abuse the big mammal like this. They are very intelligent, the elephants, and I know I could see from their eyes. I know that they are grateful what we are doing for them. And I want them to stop this abuse. Yesterday, 14 elephants came here with all wounds all over the heads. And it's really sad. I couldn't stand that. Sorry.
They are called mahouts, keeper of the elephants, and they work in the forest to bring out the logs, just as their fathers did. It is long hours and hard work. In the early morning they climb the mountain where their elephants are tethered to forage through the night. They always greet their elephants with gentle words and sweet bananas. And then they sweep away the dust from the giant's back before they bring them down the mountain to work in the camp. The mahouts and their elephants share an ancient language through which the elephants must learn to do their work. How to go this way or that way, when to go fast or slow, how to be gentle, and when to pick up the trees and place them just so. And sometimes an elephant will know his work better than his mahout. An elephant might even scold his mahout when the mahout seems lazy. But now it is different. The world has changed. Too many logs have been taken from the forest. Too many people have placed too many needs upon the earth. There is nothing to hold back the seasonal monsoons, and the floods devastate the land. The government says no more logging. The old work for the mahout is gone, and there's little money to buy food for them and their family. It's very sad and difficult for the mahouts, because sometimes they must sell their elephant, or they must take them into the city to beg, or carry the tourist round and round to make us happy.
Elephants should not be in captivity at all. They've never been selectively bred. Nobody's ever bred to bring about the smartest elephant or the tallest elephant or the fastest elephant or the best-natured elephant. So genetically, behaviorally, they're wild animals. They shouldn't be in tourist camps, but they shouldn't be in Western circuses. They shouldn't be in Maharaja's palaces, etc. On the other hand, it's the only viable form of work for them whatsoever.
song is about poor guys in the mountain.
What?
Poor guys in the mountain. Fall in love with woman, some woman, and the poor guy have no nothing, have no anything. That's why he sing this song.
หกเจ็ดแปดเก้าสิบต่อหนึ่งว่าดังๆสองสามสี่ห้าหกเอาสองข้างอย่างนี้ด้วยอย่างนี้หกนี่หกเจ็ดแปดเก้าสิบปรบมือให้ตัวเองหน่อย
If the elephant stay here, there are no job to work. The owner also like the money because now money everyone know important. They want to use the money. They will sell the elephant to work with the tourists. Life of the elephant are changed. If they still stay with the current people, I think their elephant are happy. They have time to eat because elephant eat a lot. The years maybe work with the rice field one time, carry rice or carry the heavy things for the current people, and then let them free in the forest. They are happy. If they are selling to work with the tourists, I think it's quite work hard. Elephant big, but it's not strong like you think. Even 200 kilograms for the elephant is heavy. I think that's a good idea, for the teacher to use the elephant to apply to use with the education. Like the project of the adult education here, they use elephant for carry the satellite dish or carry the teacher to the village very far. And the current people in the jungle or village very far, they can watch the television. You see something for develop themselves or make more, and I open mind of the people in the jungle. I think that's a good idea.
I do like the elephants, and I'm always kind of blowing kisses to them just because I think they're such groovy animals.
They seem peaceful, but at the same time, they seem elegant. And I don't know. I've always kind of liked elephants.
Well, the premise of free contact is that there's no barrier between the keeper and the animal. You go in with the animal, you put your hands on the animal, you have a hands-on situation, and the elephant has direct, complete, and immediate access to your entire body, which means that it is available to the elephant to do to your body whatever it chooses. You hope that it doesn't choose to do anything drastic. You still have a hands-on capability in protected contact, but it's through a barrier. And there are different degrees of protection possible. There are some people that work in what they call protected contact, where they do have a barrier of sorts, but really the animal still has a tremendous amount of access to them. And then there are other situations where there's practically no access to the handler from the elephant at all. What does it mean to the elephant? I don't know. I have not yet worked in protected contact. I have heard people claim that it is possible to give the same level of care. Because I haven't worked in it and have very little experience with it, I don't know whether that's true or not. I find it difficult to believe. On the one hand, I'm skeptical. But on the other hand, there are some credible people that have told me that it's possible to do, so I have the position of, okay, show me, we'll see. And indeed, I think here with this zoo we will. You might be wondering why the transition.
Yes.
Well, as far as I can see, we have two primary reasons for making this transition. I personally experience them as unfortunate.
Oh, wait, you guys.
But
Stop. Wait, I'm sorry. This is my job when I step in. I don't want to have that part on. I don't want to give personal opinions on it and stuff.
Right.
Let's not go there. Because it's a philosophical difference.
Right.
You know, and then there's the institution.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
And I just don't want to go there.
She's gonna get a bag. Is that Hunter? Oh, yeah, that Hunter. It's right down the middle. We're gonna have everybody walk down to the left. What happened to that loafer right there? He's got a bag. He's got a bag. Hey, close. Make sure you guys get in the front.
Well, for me, being here at the zoo in a public relations capacity, I just enjoy watching the people take delight in watching the elephants, especially since the baby was born last November. It's amazing watching the people's emotions, how much a baby elephant can touch their life just for that moment, a fleeting moment of watching her. To me, the elephants, they've been one of the most high-profile animals here at the zoo. And for the 10 years I've been here, they're certainly one of my favorite animals. I have awesome respect for them.
between elephant and human. I think we have to balance in this world.
It was an extraordinary and momentous day at the hospital. Miss Sarita had invited me to witness the ritual separation of a mother and baby elephant.
Today we changed the mothers in the feeding area, and we took the baby away.
The mother, Pung Uwan, which means Mrs. Fadley, had been shackled early in the morning, and her baby, Plai Pupa, or Mr. Rock Mountain, twisted himself between her legs and cried for the humans to come play and feed him. Plai Pupa, whose father was a wild elephant, might remember that his mother tried to kill him on the day he was born, but he doesn't know that she had killed 2 earlier babies. No one knows why exactly. Perhaps because Pung Uwan had never had aunties or sisters to teach her or guide her through the terrifying and painful birth experience. Lucky for Plai Pupa, though, the mahouts were quick. He was saved, and soon after, Pung Uwan accepted her baby. Today, mother and baby must say goodbye to each other. The baby elephant must be trained. Plai Pupa must learn that everything in his life, for the rest of his life, will be determined by the human. They are all taken to the far feeding area where Pung Uwan is heavily chained to the ground, and both mother and baby are sedated. The ceremony is performed by respected teacher Kru Ba Po. He has come to invoke the blessings and beneficence of the Buddha. He carries with him that secret language of mahout and elephant. An anti-elephant from the North Country has been brought down to comfort mother and baby. After a while, the mahouts will lead Plai Pupa away. The fire of Lord Buddha is brought to the heart of the ritual to bless everything, to bless the ropes and chains, the goad and other working tools, to bless the bonding spirit of elephant and man, to bless the food and give the baby courage and strength, a long life and acceptance of his life, to bless the work and bless the play.
Ngay phu ลูกฮะ
ได้แล้วเว้ย
นิ่งเนาะนิ่งนะลูกเด็กดีนะ สอนอะไรก็ต้องเชื่อลูก
Lai Pupa is then led away and tied to the stump of a tree. Here his life will change. He will grow cold and hungry and afraid. Here he'll be fed by only one human, given water by the human, and loved by the human. Then he'll be set free and at once made captive by the human. It has been this way for millennia.
I don't think anyone goes around thinking about elephants that much.
I grew up in a house full of tusks, so that's where I first thought about elephants. And the other time is watching Tarzan movies, watching them run over everyone.
That's one of the things I love, is the way they can move, because it's like a Scooby-Dooby-Doo kind of moves, you know.
They knew when it was time to give it up and pack it in and go somewhere and just die.
If getting along with one another, surviving for thousands of years, adapting to your ecosystem is one measure, then certainly all of those animals, cetaceans and elephants, would be high up on the scale. And in fact, humans, with their threats to the environment, could have questionable intelligence.
Elephants are very evolutionized creature.
So why are you here?
We're here to protest the use of animals in circuses. These are wild and exotic animals that belong in the wild, and we want to see them remain in the wild rather than be performing silly tricks like standing on stools and dancing with tutus and whatever else they have them do. That's just not natural for wild animals.
So are you against elephants and the zoo as well?
Yes, sanctuaries, no. Because unfortunately these animals, once they're taken from the wild, they're unable to be returned back to the wild, and they do need a place to go, and there are plenty of very fine sanctuaries around the world that will take the elephants. Animals in captivity, again, is just unnatural, and we believe that all wild animals belong in the wild, so we would be against animals in the zoo as well.
So in Asia, elephants have worked with people for centuries. Do you differentiate between that and using elephants for entertainment?
For the most part, yes. Again, it's a treatment of wild animals. We believe that wild animals, in the wild have certain instincts, they have certain behaviors, and the only way to get rid of those natural instincts and natural behaviors is to break their spirits. And when we see that happening for working elephants, we disagree with that as well. Because we believe that wild animals, again, belong in the wild.
And yet, curiously, we enslave the elephant. We demolish their spirit. We make them entertain us. Is this the legacy we wish to leave our children, with whom we leave our own potential as a species?
Like us, human beings, we want to protect our children, whether it's our own child or our neighbor's children. If they are abused, I'm sure we will rush to help. I just want to make an appeal that people should do the same for every creature on earth.